What's going on there, world? Jeff Lerner here, having another conversation that needs to be had because you know why? There's so many sissy conversations being had in this world, especially with all the stuff going on in the world. It's so highly uninteresting because everybody's talking about all this stuff that they can't control, that doesn't empower them, that doesn't give them any options, it doesn't give them anywhere to go with their lives. It's just about what's going on around them as if they're just like a hapless passenger. Super lame, super dull, super uninteresting, super pointless, super needs to be moved on from. Can we please get back to conversation? I say get back. I'm not sure the world has ever been largely focused on these types of conversations. Can we please start having conversations that are obsessively focused on what we can control? Hey, Wanda. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Gracie. Hey, Alex. Hey, Romeo. Lazarus. Ben. Jacqueline, the love of my life. Celia. Colin. So many people. So many amazing people. So listen, yeah, in all seriousness, though, look at the world around. Scan the newspaper. Scan the newspaper. Scan the television. Scan the airwaves. All focused on stuff that we are subject to, but we are largely powerless within. Hey, Marie, glad you're here. I personally, I have completely rejected all these conversations. It's why I've had such a damn good year. The whole world's had a shitty year. I had a great year, a damn good year, because I refused to deal with anything but what I can control. And so I'm just going to suggest that we do that. What's up, Kya? What's up, Matt? Appreciate it. Oh, Matt, what's up, boss? Yeah, good chatting with you last night. Had a great session on our Inner Circle Masterminds. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about here on this conversation. I have a meeting in 21 minutes, so I do not have the luxury to be too long-winded. Although goodness knows that'll be a challenge for me because I do like to do this with this to make sound come out. So first thing I'm going to touch on. So the topic for the day is about ebooks. And first of all, let me set some context here. I want to kind of explain what's better, Lightspeed or Entre, I think is the question. Lightspeed is a learning management software. Entre is an institute of higher education for entrepreneurship. So, I mean, plus it's my thing, man. Of course it's better. It's my thing. Brad's a good friend of mine, actually, but I'd still say use my thing. Yeah, it's been a good year. So here's the deal. The way we're doing these lives, every day around this time, I go live. Admittedly, I missed last week because I was in Atlanta dealing with some stuff, and I had bad internet in my Airbnb. But in general, I go live around this time every day. And the way we're doing it, and here's a little marketing hack for you, is I was just going live, and I have a lot to say. I get excited, and I love my peeps. I love you guys, and I love to come talk to you and have these conversations with you. And I'm usually not short of stuff to talk about, but it doesn't optimize that well. So today we're talking about goals and setting goals and the importance of setting goals. And a goal is a fixed object in the distance that you're moving towards. And when you move towards the goal, you actually compress the energy between yourself and the goal. It's like the Doppler effect, right? It works with light waves, works with sound waves. I believe it works with all forms of energy, including momentum and life trajectory. And so you're moving toward a goal and it compresses the wave. By the way, this is a whole theory that I've been working through in my mind. It's like the Doppler effect applied to success and momentum. But the point is, I could do that thing as you go. It creates intensified heat and additional energy because of the compression of the waves of potential, and it fires you up and you get momentum and all this stuff. And then at the end of that live, I would be like, okay, what did I just talk about? And so I might put a title on the live that's like the Doppler effect applied to success. So I think that's a super cool concept. I love talking about it. I'm glad I just got to blurt it out. I'll expand on it further on a different live. But the problem is, there's two problems with that. One is nobody's going online and searching for Jeff Lerner's crazy theory about the Doppler effect applied to success. Nobody's searching for that, which means as soon as I'm done with the live, it goes into the archive, but it never resurfaces because it can't hook into any trends or any search volume. So it doesn't serve as well as it could to grow my online footprint organically. Secondly, it's not as appealing because because it's not a pre-prepared concept, I can't have somebody create a thumbnail around it, right? You look at the live streams on YouTube, you look at the live streams on IGTV now, they look pretty because we picked a topic ahead of time. We had a thumbnail designed and we picked a topic that was relevant and related to search trends, that things people are actually searching online. So I can still talk about the Doppler effect applied to success and my harebrained theory, but the fact that this live is actually about 3 tips to creating your ebook means I'm hooking into search trends. And I will tell you, since we started doing this, the growth on my YouTube channel has tripled. I was doing between 50 and maybe 80 new subscribers a day on YouTube. I'm averaging now, I think in the last few days, over 150 new subscribers a day on YouTube. And the only change has basically been that we started creating live streams that are pre-planned that hook into search trends, right? So that's why my lives they have a topic, but then in the end, they end up mostly being me just having whatever conversation I choose to have. I just want you guys to have context. You guys are my friends, you're my family, you're my world. You're the reason I do this. So I want you to come on and be like, why does Jeff do what he does? Now you know. But that said, I am going to touch on the actual subject at hand, which in this case, I'll tell you this about an ebook. So I am currently, this is my ebook right here. This is a physical copy I had printed, but basically I just printed out the ebook and took it to the local printer place and had it bound. But I'll tell you this. So far this month, what is it? No, you know what? Let's just do the last week. In the last 7 days, 6 if you count today, we've had 45,000 downloads of this book. Ebooks are bomb. Ebooks are bomb. They're a great offer online. It's free. You deliver massive value. They're pretty quick to create. I mean, it took me maybe a couple hours to write this. It's not long. It's like 20 pages, big print. There's even a few pictures. Probably took me a couple hours to write it. You know, I think we hired someone to design it, probably paid $50 for the cover. An ebook is an electronic book. It's just a fancy way of saying like a book that somebody gets delivered online and they can download it or they can read it in their browser. But anyway, so the point is that book took me maybe a couple hours to create, $50 for a jacket. And then now we've got a digital ebook. I have not edited it one time. And frankly, Jeff, I probably won't. Ebooks are kind of transitory. You create one. I'll probably just create another one at some point. But look, man, we're crushing. We've had 7,000 downloads of this book so far today. It's working great. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why it works so well. But ebooks are very powerful. In fact, we significantly enhanced the conversion and the profitability of our funnel when we went from just an opt-in to a sales letter or to a sales video to opt-in, get the ebook. Then while you're waiting for the ebook to come, go to sales video. Like significantly changed our economics of our business, and you give great value to people. So create an ebook, if for no other reason than because it gives you an exercise, an experience of actually delivering value to the world, right? Even if you're not in a business, just create an ebook. Look, if I say go write a book, that's like a tall order, right? That's intimidating. But if I say create an ebook, you literally can have it done in a day. Take a Saturday and be like, honey, put out, a couple thousand words, maybe 5,000 words, 20 pages about something that you have some value, something to share about. And now you've had that experience. Look at that way. You're an author. Now you're an author. How exciting is that? I'm an author. In fact, a lot of people are excited because they write a book. It sells 10,000 copies, 50,000 copies. I've had over 1 million, probably I don't know. I have to pull the numbers. I've literally probably got like 1 million copies of this in distribution now. For something that took me a few hours to do. Like, that's exciting. Ebooks are super cool. But whether you do an ebook or something else, I'm going to give you the reason that this ebook is so successful, and you can apply this to all of your marketing. And then I'm going to give you a swift kick in the ass and get you pumped up and fired up to do the work that most people won't do so you can have the life that most people will never have. But first, let's talk ebooks. So I have kind of a 3-step process for defining my ebook, and it helps simplify the architecture and the construction of the value proposition of the book, right? First of all, pick a category. What category is your book going to be in? We'll use this as an example. Is this a book in the pets niche? Does this have anything to do with pets? No. Does it have anything to do with travel? Not directly. Does it have anything to do with sports? No. Does it have anything to do with parenting? No. Does it have anything to do with business or entrepreneurship? Yes. That's my category, business or entrepreneurship. So then what's the angle? Because there's kind of a few angles within any category, right? Like, what's the angle on the pet snitch? Is it about potty training? Is it about, I don't know, other types of training? Forgive me, I'm not like an expert on pets. Is it about outdoor pets? Is it about indoor pets? It's about whatever. So the angle here is, if you know people, it's in the category of business and entrepreneurship. The angle is how to make money with a computer, like this new model of making money that people are interested in, making money on the internet, digital marketing, whatever you want to call it, right? So first define your category, then define your angle. And the category is going to be very broad and not unique to you at all. The angle is probably going to be something that you've seen in the market before. There's multiple people that are kind of attacking from that angle. In this case, there's multiple people that are attacking business and entrepreneurship from the angle of doing business on the internet or taking advantage of the modern new economy tools, right? So category, angle, and then USP. The USP, the unique selling proposition, has to be something that you come up with that you can say about your book or frankly your whatever that is not said about any other thing. It's your unique language to describe the unique value that somebody gets from your thing that they're not going to get anywhere else. Now, they may get something similar from someone else, but it's got to be your words, your language. In this case, I say, how many times, if you've watched my stuff, if you listen to my podcast, you watch my shows, you listen to my calls to action, you watch my sales videos, how many times have you heard me say, I'm going to show you the fastest way to become a millionaire in the new digital economy, or I'm going to show you the fastest way to become successful in the new digital economy. By the way, notice the distinction there. If I'm on Facebook, I don't say millionaire, I say successful. I'm going to show you the fastest way to become wildly successful in the new digital economy, because Facebook's AI, super finicky about money figures. Even though saying I'm going to show you the fastest way to become a millionaire in the new digital economy, that's no guarantee, that's no promise. But on Facebook, you want to err a little more on the side of compliance. On YouTube, I'd say this, I'm going to show you the fastest way to become a millionaire in the new digital economy. At the end of my podcast, I'm going to say, like I just got done interviewing a guy earlier, Mikey Taylor, for example, former, by the way, total stud guy, former pro skateboarder who now runs multiple channel investment fund, also built a brewery and sold it to Coors, like total stud guy, right? But at the end of that interview, I say, hey, visit millionairesecrets.com/Mikey T to download your free copy of my ebook, The Millionaire Shortcut, so you can discover the fastest way to make money in the new digital economy, right? Like I just rolls off my tongue. That is my USP. Clarity of USP that hooks into an established angle for a major category. Boom, that's your formula. That's how you get a lot of traction, okay? That's what I have to say about ebooks. And then take the time to do a decent cover design. Like, this isn't setting the world on fire, but it's good enough that it doesn't look like amateur hour, right? Come up with a catchy name and so on and so forth. That's what I have to say about ebooks. Now, I want to talk about some other stuff that has been heavy on my mind, if you will, heavy on my mind of late. So if you're, what's up, Miko? Yeah, dude, I was out last week. I was in Atlanta. I had crap internet the whole week in my Airbnb. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. No MS Paint, although I know what you're referencing, which is that my buddy Mike Dillard, now granted, this was like 10 years ago. Standards were a little different. He created an ebook where he did his own cover on MS Paint. It was called Magnetic. $25 million of that ebook at $39 a piece. So yeah, apparently you can actually do MS Paint, and frankly, he sold a lot more. I don't even sell mine; I give it away. But I would say nowadays, spend a few bucks on Fiverr, get a professional cover. But anyway, so lately I have been obsessed with this concept of like, what got me here won't get me there. And sorry, I cut myself off. Miko, I had bad internet in my Airbnb last week in Atlanta, so I couldn't do my lives all week. It was super frustrating. I missed you guys. I truly did. No sirens today. That's right. Yeah. And there was no riot. I think it was just a punk pulling the fire alarm in the middle of the night. That's an inside joke. If you don't know what it means, don't worry about it. Here's what I'm going to say. I have been obsessed about getting there. What's there? There. I hesitate to share the full extent of my vision for the world and what I'm trying to do. I'm talking massive disruption of traditional education. I'm talking, imagine if somebody came along today and planted a stake and said, I just launched Harvard. Only I'm going to teach you the crap that's even more important than what Harvard teaches you. That's what I'm trying to do. So I can't hold back. I can't apologize. I can't pretend to play smaller than I am. I can't worry about seeming crazy. I can't worry about offending anyone. I can't even worry about upsetting people that spent $250,000 to get a Harvard degree and now they can't even get a 6-figure job. I don't have the luxury to care. Honestly, I don't even really have the luxury to be that nice anymore. That's what I've realized. What I have come a long way, and I've done some really good things, but I have also made some critical mistakes. And many of the mistakes that I have made have involved being overly soft or forgiving in judgment and overly soft and generous in actions. I've been nice to people who didn't deserve, they weren't nice to me. And in the end, I got hurt by that. It set me back professionally, set me back personally. What I've embraced lately is like, I'm trying to do something really audacious. And by the way, I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. I'm simply saying I'm trying to do something that I should do because I think that everybody should be trying to do something really audacious. I don't actually see the point of trying to do small things. Small things. Do you wake up in the morning and be like, oh my gosh, I am going to floss the shit out of my teeth. I am so pumped up to go floss my teeth. Nah, that's like, major and minor things. Flossing's like, it's a thing you do, but it's not moving the world forward. It's not impacting lives. It's not sweeping across humanity and making the world a better place. It's not going to get you pumped up. It's not going to fire you up to jump out of bed in the morning to floss your teeth. Disrupting education, creating a new future that belongs to entrepreneurial-minded people rather than employee-minded people. That's a big vision. That's audacious. In business speak, they would call that a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And you know what? For me, at least it's enough to get me up out of bed in the morning. I get up early. It's hard. I'm tired. I got to have a big reason to get up that early. Doing what I'm doing is a big enough reason to fire my ass up in the morning and do the work. I worked 19 and a half hours yesterday. I told my partner this morning it was one of the best days of my life. Big. Think bigger. I am not patting myself on the back. I am not fluffing myself up by saying that I think insanely big. I'm simply saying I'm committed to modeling what I think everybody ought to do, which is think disruptively, earth-shatteringly big about what you're capable of in this world. Because if anybody can do it, everybody could do it. Mark my words. So anyway, I'm thinking really big, but one of the things about thinking really big is you realize there is not enough time to screw around. There is not enough time to be soft, to be round around the corners, to be placating and ameliorating and trying to be friends with everyone. You want to do big things in this world, you got to be decisive, you got to be effective, you got to move quick, right? And I have been too soft. Look, I'm a good human. That's not going to change, but it doesn't mean I have to be a soft human. I have standards. I'm a stand for excellence. I'm projecting and demanding high standards from and to the world with my life. So I do not have the luxury to be soft, like frankly I have been. So one of the things that I'm trying to do inside of ENTRE and frankly inside of my whole life is create a standard of radical honesty, radical transparency. Roger Comstock, I am so glad to see you on Instagram. What's up, my friend? I love tracking your greatness from afar. Listen, I'm trying to create a standard of excellence in this world, high standards, and that requires honesty. It requires transparency to an off-putting degree for a lot of people. And the last few days, I'd say this week, I've kind of been stepping into a new level of radical transparency. And I realized I've got to be a stand for it. And the more books I read on management and leadership, the more I realize that one of the biggest problems in this world is equivocation. One of the biggest problems in this world is people going almost all the way, but stopping just short of the standard because they don't want to be perceived as too different from the people that they're trying to inspire with the standard. But again, big, outlier, different things are what inspires us. Nobody gets their butt up out of bed in the morning to go floss their teeth. That's not what drives us, right? So you actually should be a standout. You should be different. You should be extreme to the point where it actually freaks people out, because once they have time to process and they realize that you're sincere and you're not just trying to be, disruptive or obnoxious or make a scene, once they realize that it's actually a natural expression of who you are, they will align. Some of them. Others will be repelled. That's still progress. I hold myself up as an example. In the last 2+ years, all I've done is just get more extreme about being myself, more unapologetic, committed, and loud about being myself. Now, look, I say I'm loud. I don't go yell in public. I rant on the internet. You can turn me off. You can turn me off. So it's not like I'm in your face. I'm not in your living room unless you let me in, right? So I'm not violating anybody's civil rights. I'm just being unapologetically and kind of brashly myself. But one thing I have realized in this last week is I have got to step up my adherence to my own standards by being less tolerant of the compromise of those standards. And I've had a few radical honesty conversations in the last couple of weeks, especially in the last week, that have really pushed some people to the place where they either had to run away screaming or come back and say, you know what? I respect the candor. And it is so liberating. Look, I'm trying to take my business, which I started 2 years ago with nothing, no audience. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I didn't even have a name. It was just I called it School of Awesome. That was the first name that came to me, School of Awesome. I'm just going to talk and teach and share and hopefully inspire people to go after an awesome life. Eventually, I changed the name. It became Entre Institute. It's grown into what it is. I'm very proud of it. But it's it's emerged fast, right? We didn't even sell a product until last June. I won't even try to measure the growth because growth from zero is infinite. But I'll say that this year we've grown 2,000%, and we set a target to grow another 400% by next year. That means that by the end of next year, we will have grown, if I hit my goals, and I will hit my goals because I fucking hit my goals, 8,000% in 2 years. How do you do that? You do that by raising your standards and becoming less tolerant of anything that competes with or compromises the standards. So I'd have a little conversation lately with some people on the team. I said, listen, guys, we're getting radically transparent. I likened it to this. You guys know, and bear with me, I'm going to shoot a note I'm supposed to have a meeting with someone in 1 minute, but it's flexible and we don't have an hour's worth of stuff to cover. So I'm just going to move the meeting by about 15 minutes. Okay, cool. So I likened it to playing on a team with LeBron James. If you've ever read about what it's like to play on an NBA team with LeBron James, it is not like playing on any other NBA team. When you play in the NBA, you're expected to be good. You're held to a pretty aggressive standard. You got a lot of scheduled stuff. You get an on-season and an off-season. And the on-season, you got to be pretty dialed in. Look, when you play on a team with LeBron James, this is why I've recently reconsidered my position to think he might actually be on the level with Jordan. I'm not going to go so far as to say he's better than Jordan, but there's some intangibles that I think have to be accounted for. The way he's taking care of himself, his longevity, his endurance, the fact that he's still the best in the world 17 years after he started. Frankly, his focus. You can say, oh, well, Jordan went and played baseball and that was his choice. But yeah, that was his choice. At some level, he chose to reduce his standing in the pantheon of NBA greatness by taking time away from the game. LeBron could have chosen the same thing. He was actually good enough to play professional football, from what I hear. He could have dabbled in that, but no, he stayed in the lane, the only lane that's defined him for 17 years. And here's the thing about him. He doesn't take off seasons. And if you play on a team with him, you hardly do either. You might get a few days. You might get a couple hours after you win the championship. By the way, 10 of the 17 seasons, you would have had a very long season because you went to the NBA finals. 10 out of 17 seasons, he went to the finals with 3 different teams. He organizes the team dinners. He organizes the tape watching sessions. He organizes the workouts. He organizes the nutrition plans. He challenges people. He makes them stay late at practice. The guy doesn't just push himself. He has transparency. He's crystal clear with his expectations. And when you play on a team with him, you either keep up or you quit. That is what I'm trying to do. I told the team, I said, listen, guys, we grew 2,000% in the last 12 months. We should be really proud of ourselves. That's great today. But tomorrow, what have you done for me lately? This world is too competitive. This world moves too fast. There is somebody right behind you all the time who is ready to eat you and take your spot. And the bigger you get and the better you get, the truer that is. So we got another 400% growth to hit our targets in the next 12 months. I said, that is not going to happen by doing more of the same. And this is true at every level of every life. Listen, I'm talking from my experience right now of what I'm extremely focused on, which is trying to scale a business from here to there. But it was true 2 years ago when I was trying to scale the same business from nothing to here. It was true 12 years ago when I was just trying to get my life together and pay off debt. This is always true. So don't say, oh, well, that's his experience because of where he is in this world right now. These are timeless truths. The bottom line is this: you do not get to earn a result. You do not qualify for an outcome that you have not become the person that is capable and deserving of that outcome. You know, Jeff, you referenced the Mike Dillard interview. One of the things he said, he talked about the conversation he had with his mentor. I don't know what, 2005, 2006, whenever it was. He was saying his mentor, he was in a multi-level marketing company, and his mentor was making $50,000 a month. And his mentor said, Mike, you want to make $50,000 a month? Mike said, yeah, I do. And I know I can because you do. And he said, Mike, what have you done to become the person that's capable of earning $50,000 a month? Don't tell me what you're doing to earn $50,000 a month. Tell me what the work you did to become the person who's even capable of doing the work that it takes to make $50,000 a month. Mike said he realized, he's like, I haven't done it. I've done some work. I've gone through some motions, but I haven't done the work on myself. Said, I haven't done the work. I haven't learned the copywriting skills. I haven't learned the sales skills. I haven't developed maybe the discipline or the drive or whatever it is. He's a pretty driven guy, but he had some other work to do. So for us, this is what I say to everyone now in my world. I said, look, if you're part of my vision, you're part of what we're trying to accomplish in this world. What are we doing now to become the organization or the individual or the team or the whatever that is capable of and deserving of the result that we want to get in the future? Money is going to be the last indicator of progress. If you take nothing else from this conversation, hear that. Money is going to be the last indicator of progress. You should go back and watch my first videos. I sounded like a chump. I was not the person who was capable of or deserving of the results or the outcome that I'm now trying to get, because now I'm focused more on becoming that person and developing the capability than I am on actually doing the work to get it. It's inverse. It's counterintuitive. It's the law of reversed effort. Work harder on yourself and less on what you're trying to do. And the doing becomes so much easier in light of the becoming that you'll actually get there faster. So right now I said to my team, I said, guys, we need end-of-day reports. Every single day, I need to see. Your team lead needs to see. At a departmental level, at least, we need to have total visibility and transparency into what everybody's doing every single day. That's one thing. We need to have KPIs, clearly defined key performance indicators for every role in the business, sometimes multiple, ideally just one, because it's a lot easier to hit one single target. You can't aim an arrow at two different bullseyes. Right? Everything needs to be reported. Everything needs to be tracked. Everything needs to be accountable. Everything needs to be visible, and everything needs to be assessed on the daily. Yes, Jeff, daily audits. Look, every night, there's 5 things I do every single day. I'll tell you this. There's 5 things I do every single day. I wake up. I have a morning routine. I do something for myself physically. I do something for my relationships personally, and I do something for my business professionally, my impact in the world professionally, physical, personal, and professional. I try to make those deposits every single day. Again, I start it with a morning routine, and in the morning, I set the intention. I look at the plan, and I set the intention of how I'm going to execute the plan over the course of the day. So that's 4 things: morning routine, physical, personal, and professional deposits into those accounts that can grow, compound value over time. The 5th thing that I do every day is the nightly reflection and assessment and pre-planning for the next day. It's the nightly ritual every night. How did I do today? Let me think back on my day. Yeah. And for me, it's pretty easy because I'm hyper scheduled. I look over my schedule and I see everything I did that day. And even in the gaps, I take notes of like, what did I do in the gaps, right? The time, the unscheduled time. And then I say, okay, what's my grade? 1 to 10. How did I do today? I used to write it down. I don't write it down anymore. Now I'm just like, you know what? I'll give it an 8. By the way, I've never given myself a 10. I give myself an 8 or a 9. 9 is a great day. A lot of times it's a 7 or an 8. I tend to push myself pretty hard. And then I say, okay, great. In light of all that, what's my plan for the next day? Because what you don't want to do is wake up the next morning and go, oh crap, I need a plan. Because look, the sun's coming up. it's go time, right? You got the most energy. Your reservoir, your tank is full in the morning. You don't want to be wasting it trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. You need to have done that work the night before, right? So the night before, you do review of that day. You do assessment, like a grade, like a KPI, like a number, like something that gets reported. Because what gets measured gets treasured, and what gets reported gets rewarded. If there's not a number, it doesn't exist. Jeff says at night when I update my Trello, I do the same daily assessment. Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. That's why you're you. That's why you're having the growth that you're having. That's why you're getting the traction that you're getting. Even in the early stages of your business, it's happening for you because you're doing the work. You're doing the little things the right way. You're acting as if you're already a freaking Fortune 500 company. You know what? I am too. I am operating. I believe you could drop me into a Fortune 100 company right now. I believe you could drop me into the senior management at Amazon, senior management at Apple, senior management at Google. And I actually think I'd be the pace car. I think I'd be pushing them to keep up because I think they're too comfortable because they work at this big company and they got the cereal bar and they got the foosball table and they got all the perks. I live and die. I eat what I kill, right? But then the nightly assessment, you have to do it. And so for us, oh, yeah. Bob Richardson, bring it. Bring the thunder. Bring the heat. This guy is just hot air. You got me, brother. He doesn't have answers. He has questions and a big mouth. Is that directed at me, or are you talking about someone else in your life and maybe I have the answers for the questions? I'm ready. I'm ready. What are the questions? That's my big mouth. Now give me the questions. I don't hear anything. Bob Richardson has gone quiet. Anyway, so the point is, as an organization, you have to have the same type of transparency. I'm going to suggest that at any level, any size organization, even if you're an organization of one, you have to create this same type of transparency, the same type of feedback loop that says, I know I'm super on the edge of my head. I'm going to get on the edge of my seat right now, waiting on Bob's questions. But seriously, you've got to have that type of transparency. That's how you create the standards, transparency, radical honesty, first with yourself and then demand it of others, and then create a culture with all the moving parts of your business, all the involved parties in your business. It says, we know we will be better when everything is seen. And I've been pushing for that. I've been pushing for that across my organization and in my own life. We got to get it all out on the table. We cannot tolerate your secrets will keep you sick. Your imperfections, your hidden weaknesses and deficiencies will ultimately cripple you. They will erode the compounding curve of value in your life. You will be 65 years old someday and you'll go, wait a minute, I can't retire because I didn't address that weakness 25 years ago. I wanted to keep it hidden because I didn't want to have to face it. That'll cripple you personally. It'll cripple you as an organization. And the only way that I know as an organization, at least, is to say, we got to get it all out on the table. We got to develop the habit of putting it all out on the table. This is what I did today. This is how I did today. Everyone look, evaluate me based solely on the data and the statistics of my output, not my opinion. And to Bob's point, not my hot air. I think Bob's gone quiet, but in all seriousness, we're not going to give him the power here. I've said what I have to say. Radical transparency, radical honesty, starting with yourself, but being a stand, not being a demand, but being a stand for that standard, being a standard for that with everyone in your life. And honestly, oh man, you get what you tolerate. The ability, developing the fortitude to have zero tolerance of anything in your life that compromises your standard will set you free. It's like, yeah, I mean, listen, honestly, Miko, I kind of got to agree with you. People want to dog him. Bro, he ran for president. I haven't been on a presidential ballot. Have you been on a presidential ballot? He suffered the slings and arrows. He took what was coming and he got his butt on a presidential ballot. And he's going to go to his grave having accomplished that, and none of the rest of us have. So props to him. Great example. All right, team. I really do have to go. I got a meeting in 4. Love, appreciation, respect, always. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.